Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch and now at the YouTube, so you can check us out live. If you're not into the Twitch stuff, you can check us out live on the YouTube as well. We've been doing that for like a couple months now, and it's been working out very, very well. It's pretty cool.
Glad it has.
Today's episode of Going In Raw, we've been off for a little while, so we've got tons of stuff going on. Of course, we're going to review this past Friday's AEW Rampage. Our SmackDown review is already up because it was a very special SmackDown. So we did a very special thing for Going In Raw. We did it on Friday night. So check out that review now for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, given not binding. I mean, we're not going to do predictions really anymore.
We don't. Well, on top of that, dude, we don't even really cover New Japan anymore. There was a period of time when we were able to actively keep up with it. That time is now past. And but we're going to look at Wrestle Kingdom, the upcoming Wrestle Kingdom event starting tomorrow night for us West Coasters here in the United States. So we're going to take a look. We're going to do our very unofficial, very entertainment purposes predictions for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
We're going to talk about another former WWE star. Basically, just we don't have a SmackDown recap. I think we have a bunch of questions, but we're going to have a SmackDown recap.
Yeah, we need to fill some time on the show. So
I did put up a questions right on the Steve and Larson channel, so we'll have plenty of questions today.
But still.
We got news on another former WWE star, another WWE former champion, I should say, appearing possibly at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe even just backstage. We don't know. We're going to talk about that. A popular WWE star has been injured over the weekend. But first, it's the gift that keeps on giving even in the new year, Larson, that CM Punk thumbnail. That's right.
4 months into this, and we're still milking it for every view we can get.
Oh, like the cow udders, man. We're just milking.
It's not that kind of motion. You have to do something like this with your hand.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. If you start yanking on udders, I don't think you're getting anything. You're probably get an upset cow is what you're going to get.
You're going to get kicked in the head by Bessie.
Probably.
Anyway, so what's going on with CM Punk
So
now, dude?
Let's recap it a little bit. What's going on with Phil? I don't know. But let's recap a little bit from late last week where Dax Harwood launched his new podcast, FTR with Dax Harwood. Where's Cash? And that first episode was basically all about CM Punk.
That should be the name of the podcast. Where's Cash?
Where's Cash?
They think it's like a financial freaking podcast.
yeah. But it's not. It's all about CM Punk.
Yeah.
So he talked about how CM Punk was cool with everybody in the locker room and giving out Starbucks gift cards and paying for dinners and having his locker room door open for anybody. And
I'm sorry, did he really say that about the Starbucks gift cards?
Yeah. He said they gave everybody in Pinnacle before the feud started with MJF $500 Starbucks gift cards.
That's excessive. $500 at Starbucks, can it be like Amazon or something they actually use? Do they all just really love Starbucks?
Well, apparently they all really like coffee.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm sorry I interrupted. Please continue.
That's fine. I'm kind of doing just off the top of my head what I remember about it. Of course, he talked Brawl Out, but throughout Dax was very diplomatic. He said he FaceTimed with Punk right after it happened, but at the same time he said he never claimed to have a cohesive official version of the story. Never proclaimed that. Anyways. According to Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez on a recent Wrestling Observer Radio, there were a lot of people backstage who apparently weren't happy with Dax and his new podcast, at least the first episode. These transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co. Meltzer said, quote, "From what I heard from different people, not the people you had probably heard from, they are not particularly happy about this. Happy at all about this." Alvarez added, "All I heard the other day was how unhappy people were about that podcast." And then Meltzer continued, "This is what they need. I've said this before, and they've done it. They needed a team meeting on Wednesday in Seattle. They need to get this stuff cleared up and get everyone on the same page because they're not." So if we go back a little bit to late last week, Meltzer in the most recent Wrestling Observer newsletter talked about the possibility of Punk returning to AEW, given what Dax said in his podcast, which was essentially, "I hope everybody can work this out." And added that there are many in the AEW locker room, including a former Ring of Honor champion, who are trying to make sure that Punk doesn't come back. That's what Dave had to say. Quote, it's a very interesting move because there is an obvious strategy to it, the move being Dax mentioning mending fences and all that. In the sense, if it doesn't happen, the idea is that Punk is willing to play ball and the others aren't. Also, Punk responding, to somebody's, I think, Instagram post about, working things out. The idea is, I got that already. Oh, no, I didn't. The idea is to tell people Punk wants back in and creates the clamor from the fan base that he's willing to return. As with everything over the last 9 months, it puts Tony Khan in a very bad position with different talent. Several of the top guys, Chris Jericho being among them, told the rest of the locker room that they'd make sure Punk wasn't brought back.
Whoa.
I think, shocking. I think a lot depends on where the business is in about 5 or 6 months when Punk viably could be back. If business is bad, the odds of Khan wanting him back are higher, especially with this being a contract year. If business is strong, they look to be getting a big increase in talks. The situation becomes very different.
Dude, regardless of where you stand on the whole Punk elite thing, Punk was good for business. That was, I think that Tony Khan definitely.
Plus Delta.
I think that he looked at those analytics and decided that whatever the plus Delta thing means, the immediate feedback from meetings. He referred to him he referred to Punk as the plus Delta to mean this guy's really good for my business. All the analytics says so. It's why he put him front and center on the video game. It's why he put the title on him. Like, you and I can debate, or people can debate about, Punk, he wasn't. I've seen plenty of people say, Punk wasn't a draw. Clearly he was. Like, you can look at the numbers and the revenue from the pay-per-views and stuff. The stuff that Punk was on drew really well. And I think that, dude, the main bulk of AEW's revenue, I think, is going to be the TV stuff. Mm-hmm. And if they can get those ratings to average out to like a little bit over 1 million, like they had been on a regular basis, which they haven't really done in a while, then they're going to get all that more money back. And if the idea is, look, I know that Punk said a bunch of messed up stuff, but everybody can make a lot of money if Punk comes back to AEW. And on top of that, if you don't actively really try your damnedest to get this done, Triple H is going to be over there doing everything he can because he's got a TV deal that he's trying to put together as well. It just makes sense. Like, you're going to want whoever can get you the most eyeballs. If he's a problem in the locker room, or if there's a perceived problem there, you put him in his own room. And then you have to put a sign on no elite allowed, because we saw what happened last time they put him in his own room.
Yeah.
The last part was kind of a joke. I don't know what you do. You just I don't know. I think
you have to sit them all down. Yeah, you have to sit them all down and try to find a way to make this work on professionally. They don't have to like each other personally, as long as they can be professional and work together. That's all that really matters. Going back to the stuff about Dax. Based on what I read, there wasn't anything terribly controversial in anything Dax said. Like I said, he was pretty diplomatic about basically everything. Maybe it's just the idea that he would mention it publicly on a show, and that's why he's got maybe heat on him, if he has heat on him at all.
I wonder if it's maybe undercutting the deep tension there. It's like, dude, we can't just, if I called you an empty-headed dumb fuck, and then, more likely be you'd call Hilton an empty-headed dumb fuck. And I was like, I wish these two would just patch it up so that we can go get some Cinnabons together. Yeah. And then, and it's like, and maybe Hilton's like, yeah, or you're like, duh. But then Hilton's like, he called me an empty-headed dumb fuck. It's not that easy. What a great analogy that just was, huh?
That was good. Now I want to sit in the roll. Thanks.
Let's head up. Let's call Hilton and let's call that empty-headed dumb fuck so Hilton and get some Cinnabon. Oh man. Anyways,
no, I get that. I mean, especially with Punk's kind of response of "duh," so they should work it out.
Yeah,
I get that point. There obviously has to be more conversation than just "duh" involved in it.
Right? Yeah.
And I didn't take Punk's saying "duh" to somebody as "duh." It's.
I'll be honest. I had no idea how to take that.
Whatever grievances, the elite page, whomever in AEW may have towards him, it was just the concept of trying to work things together, obviously. And I don't necessarily think him saying does to necessarily undercut any of the tensions that exist. It was just say, it should be clear as day that in terms of doing business, they should try to make every effort they can to
Well,
patch things up and push and get things moving forward. You know,
I was saying maybe that's why people were not too happy with Dax. If this is true, you know, you and I have always said, you know, with be it Meltzer, Sean Ressap, whomever, whenever they talk to people, those people are going to have their own perspectives, their own agendas. And so, but, you know, those perspectives and agendas are important because regardless of whether or not, you know, the exact details are true, that is one side that's getting out. That means that there are people who feel this way backstage.
Yeah.
I was speaking about maybe they felt that Dax was sort of underselling or playing down, maybe with a little bit of naivete. Oh, can't these guys just get along? And those guys being the people who were targeted by CM Punk publicly. And on the other side of that, you know, I could see CM Punk thinking that, well, these guys targeted me, you know, to the dirt sheets. There are two sides here.
Yeah.
But maybe that would be the reason why Dax's comments would be getting some heat, because it's like, dude, it's not that simple. We can't just all move along and be fine because this guy was actively causing issues backstage. Could be the problem that they would have with it. I'm not
That's
saying that would be
possible,
true or not,
or it's
but
just
that could be.
you know, it's just, you know, throughout this whole thing, for the most part, people within AEW, especially people higher up, you know, in the executive. On the executive side of things, haven't talked at all about it. Like Tony Khan literally has said no comment to basically every question he's been asked about this. There's been a general lack of transparency throughout the investigation. And maybe that's kind of the general attitude is don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't talk about it.
Yeah, it could be.
And so if it's a situation where there's kind of like a blanket understanding, maybe not even a statement, but just an understanding amongst those in the locker room that just don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dax, you know, again, it wasn't like he obviously took. We all know he's friends with Punk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
But even saying I heard Punk's account, just because I heard Punk's account doesn't mean that I know the whole truth.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just the fact that he talked about it.
Yeah, that
was
could
enough
be.
to get him some heat.
That could be. We don't really know.
No, we don't.
But yeah, I don't know. There's also maybe a little bit of this. You could see that from like sort of a cynical standpoint. It's like, oh, you're launching a new podcast. What are you going to talk about? The most controversial story in AEW of 2022, you know?
Well, hey, Dax, it's worked pretty well for us, so we keep going with it.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, it's worked pretty well.
Yeah. Part 2, you know, Where's Cash podcast. We're going to talk about, you know, how the comment.
yeah, episode 2. Duh. It's an hour and a half on various strategies of how they could work things out.
And then, you know, episode 3, Punk blocked my phone number.
Although Punk responding to that thing about them all working out, because it all stemmed from what Dax said, makes me feel like he might not be blocking Dax's number.
If that's the case, because I think you're right about that, if that's the case, he's probably also feeding Dax this stuff.
I would not be surprised about that.
This is why the backstage stuff is so much more interesting than what we get on screen, because they're so closed off about what happens backstage.
I know.
So we just get to sit here like a couple of clowns and you know, and then people in the comments end up taking it way too seriously.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys just admit that you're AW biased? Yeah, okay.
Well, we're not. We don't have AEW bias.
Why did you guys just admit that you're WWE fans?
Well, we're fans of wrestling. We like wrestling.
We like wrestling. Wrestling's
wrestling.
great. Speaking of WWE, we also like AJ Styles. Unfortunately, reports started surfacing following WWE's December 29th house show that AJ Styles had suffered some sort of injury. Styles updated his condition on New Year's Eve on the Twitter, stating, just want you guys to know that I'm okay. Broken ankle is what I'm dealing with. No surgery. This just takes some time to recover. This will be the longest I've ever been out of the ring. Thanks for the prayers and get well wishes. So AJ Styles with an ankle injury. Ankle
fracture of some sort.
I don't remember when's the last time he was actually injured and took a lot of time off. This guy is remarkably resilient.
Edge hit that spear on him in the Rumble. He separated his shoulder. He was out for a spell then.
Oh wow, that was a long time. Was that like 2014?
No,
2016.
No, it was after that. It's when Edge came back.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant when he debuted. Yeah, okay, now.
No.
I'm getting AJ Styles' debut and Edge's return mixed up together.
Oh, gotcha. So I think that's the last time he was out any amount of time because of injury.
Uh-huh.
Depending, if he doesn't need surgery, I would imagine that it wasn't like a terribly bad break. If you break your ankle real bad, you probably got to have surgery.
There was that one time when he had his nipple torn off.
That was on We Book Raw.
That was our show. That was our EFED.
That was our show, yeah.
Okay,
that's what we booked Raw. Yes,
I was getting that confused with something.
No, he still has in real life both his nipples.
In life, yeah. So that's a bummer. My point was AJ Styles is remarkably resilient for how well he sells and what he does.
Very
to
durable.
His body.
Yes.
Yeah, his body just does not come apart. Oh man.
So hopefully he has a quick recovery, no complications. And we'll see him, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months maybe, depending on the nature of the break and how long it takes him to rehab.
I wonder what happens to OC. Do they bring in like sort of like a temporary replacement for AJ Styles? Who could they bring in as a temporary replacement for AJ Styles?
Oh, bring in Eric Young.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I was thinking like, what about, is he still injured? Nathan Frazier?
Yeah.
He sort of has the same haircut, but if you just sort of put him in AJ's gear, it could be like, there's something off about this guy. Just have him wear that cool mask.
Oh, you want him to pull like a fake Razor Ramon, fake Diesel, and have someone that's come
back. That wasn't
and...
where I was going to go at first, but then I decided to go in that direction.
All right, gotcha.
He wears the mask and everything. They're like, hey, AJ, why don't you take that mask off? Just nods his head no.
This Carl Anderson starts doing all the talking.
He goes like this. He puts up a too sweet instead. This is kind of interesting. Let's talk about this. And while we're on the subject of WWE stars, let's talk about former WWE champions. A couple days at Wrestle Kingdom 17, Sasha Banks, now known as I think her real name Mercedes Varnett. Well, I guess we're going to find out what her actual
because she trademarked some other names too.
Mercedes Monet, stuff like that. So formerly known as Sasha Banks, will reportedly make her first wrestling appearance since she walked out on Raw back in May. According to PW Insider, Varnado won't be the only former WWE star making a trip to Japan. PWInsider.com exclusively confirmed that Banks' WWE Women's Tag Team Championship partner Trinity Naomi Fatu is currently slated to be in Japan. New Japan sources would not confirm they're bringing in Naomi and intimated she was coming of her own accord. So it just may be that Fatu is simply traveling to Japan to join Varnado at the event to support her and won't even be seen publicly. So
that's interesting.
That's interesting. I like that they're still close, regardless if she's going to be appearing with her or on screen. I like that they're still sort of doing stuff together. Solidarity there. That's kind of cool.
It will be interesting though if Naomi were to appear on screen. You got to assume we'll get to our for entertainment purposes only Wrestle Kingdom 17 predictions here in a moment.
For entertainment purposes only.
You got to assume that Sasha is going to come out and confront, I would imagine, Kairi Sane after her IWGP Women's Championship match, the set up a match down the line. It'd be pretty neat if Naomi came to the ring with her, and in some way could set up a story for Naomi as well. For a match down the line. That would be pretty cool. Or if she's just there to support her friend and won't even be on camera, that's cool too.
Maybe she's there to trade tips with the Rainmaker. She's like, Kazuchika Okada, I've come here to learn from you. And he's like, Trinity Fatu, show me the glow.
Yeah.
Because could you imagine Okada if he had glow?
He has had glow. Remember some of his entrance gear was iridescent and kind of luminescent.
Yeah, it had like the glow material from 2K22.
Yeah, but imagine Naomi. She added glow to that.
Yeah,
like an LED. Say he wins, he beats Jay White for the IWGP heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Like this belt, it's fine. Let's put some glow on it. He does the LED light thing like Naomi did when she was women's champ.
Okada's like, light the beam.
Yeah.
On my freaking IWGP title.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What if she teaches him those cool Royal Rumble moves? Like he's out there on the apron and then like Jay White comes over and he like gives him a lariat off, but he goes to the barricade instead.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't have to do that. Your feet can hit you don't lose if you hit the ground. He's like, but Rainmaker has glow. And then he goes back.
That'd be great.
This is the stuff that would make us watch Wrestle Kingdom, Larson, on a regular basis. Every week we've watching Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, it's not okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna be like Werner Herzog with WWE. I'm gonna call everything New Japan Wrestle Kingdom.
It's just all Wrestle Kingdom. Well, I might as well start talking Wrestle Kingdom now. Again, for entertainment purposes only, non-binding. We're not doing predictions anymore. I'm forever champ. That's already been decided. 12 matches here on Wrestle Kingdom. 2 pre-show matches, including Steve's favorite, the New Japan Rambo.
Oh, man, I might just watch the Rambo, to be honest with you.
So this, I don't know exactly how they're doing it this year. If they're doing, because like last year they did that, and the Final 4 faced Night 2 to be the first provisional KOPW winner.
Same way. Same
trophy
way this
holder.
year. Same way this
so the
year.
Final 4. All right.
I'm looking at it on Wikipedia anyways.
All right, cool. So we got 2 pre-show matches. An exhibition match between... I'm gonna get these names so wrong, and I apologize.
I know. I was waiting for you to say them because I'm like, I'm not gonna mess it up.
Ryohei.
Oiwa.
And then Bolton Oleg.
That's a great name.
I have no idea.
That sounds like an extreme slap competition name.
That does.
Bolton Oleg.
All right, I'll go with Oleg then.
Fine, I'll go with Oiwa.
All right, I win already.
Because that one you had a hard time saying their name.
So who do you think the Final 4 in this Rambo are going to be, Steve?
All right, so it's King of Pro Wrestling. It's King of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Is Shingo currently? No. So Shingo's going to be one of the guys.
So how it works out, I believe, is if you finish the year as champion, as provisional champ, you're champ.
Okay.
And then the new year, it starts all over again. You're provisional champ until the last defense of the year. At that point, you're the champ for the year. It starts all over again.
So one of these guys, okay, so this is going to go to New Year's Dash. It doesn't say that it's coming down to 4, but I'm assuming you're right about that. I could be wrong. I don't know. So Shingo, Yano, is Suzuki still even around? He's still around, right?
Yeah.
All right, Suzuki, because he's been it before. And then Chase Owens.
Okay. I'll go Shingo, Taichi. They had Taichi and Shingo had a feud for the title last year, and I want to see Taichi with it now that he's out of Suzuki-gun. He needs something to do.
No, hold on. Lincoln Phoenix says Shingo says he's done with King of Pro Wrestling. Okay,
right,
I amend mine. Instead of Shingo, it's Taichi.
All right, I got Suzuki. Taichi, Yano, Chase Owens.
This is such a waste of time.
Evil.
This is a massive waste of time.
Evil.
The Antonio Inoki Memorial 6-man tag team match. Yuji Nagata, Kojima, Makabe, Fujinami.
Suzuki's in this match.
Oh, Suzuki. Okay, so take out Suzuki out of the last match. Put Robbie Eagles, maybe.
All right.
Yeah. And then Tiger Mask. Who's gonna win this one? So some of these dudes are. I mean, they're all pretty old.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Tiger
Team
Mask
Minoru Suzuki.
Days? Is Tiger Mask old? I know the character is, but like the dude under the mask, is he old now? It doesn't matter. I'm going with Nagata. I'm going Yuji Nagata. Who's your pick?
Team Suzuki.
Oh yeah, Tiger Mask is 52 years old.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a team thing?
Yeah.
6-man tag. You're right. It's a team.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Team Suzuki. I got Team Nagata.
All right, there we go. Next for the junior heavyweight tag titles, we got TJP and Akira taking on Leo Rush and Yo.
So TJP and Akira are with United Empire.
And they're champs currently, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to win this thing. As much as I think it'd be awesome for Leo Rush and Yo to win, you can never predict what Leo Rush is going to do. And that's not a slam on him. That's just his history. I don't know like how much he's actually going to be in New Japan. So, and people could be like, hey, he's been there for a whole year. I don't think he's been there for a year. It's going to be United Empire. They're booked super strong these days.
Yeah, I feel like United Empire is going to win too. Next, we got for the IWGP Women's Championship, Kairi taking on Tam Nakano. Kairi's totally winning this because she's going to have a match with Sasha Banks.
I assume so. I assume so.
Next,
hold on a second. Who took out Kairi Sane in her last days in WWE? Wasn't it Bayley and Sasha?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. They got some story built in there.
Yeah. Next, FTR defending the IWGP tag team titles against Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. This has got to be Goto and Yoshihashi winning these titles.
Yeah, of course. FTR is losing everything these days.
Yeah. A lot of confidence points on that one if we were doing confidence points, but this is entertainment purposes only.
The first King of Television New Japan Championship, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ren Narita. I mean, this has got to be Zack Sabre Jr., right?
You would think so.
Yeah.
He beat Evil in under 5 minutes in the semis. So
yeah Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be the first King of Television in New Japan.
Next, we got for the never openweight title, we got Carl Anderson taking on Tama Tonga.
Talent Club. Tama Tonga wins here because Carl Anderson's literally with WWE. So
yep.
Hey, let me ask you this.
What?
While we're on the top of Carl Anderson, Rocky Romero was asked in an interview recently about Carl Anderson and the WWE stuff. And he sort of I think the subject was broached about what would WWE ask for in return from New Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we're going to get somebody from the New Japan Professional Wrestling at the Rumble this year? And if so, who's the most likely candidate?
Maybe something else if Suzuki was in the Rumble.
That'd be kind of crazy. That'd be nuts. I don't think it'd be as big a name as like their champion, like a Jay White or a Kazuchika Okada.
No.
I mean, it'd be something else if it was like a Naito.
You know what? If Tanahashi's not doing anything.
Oh, man. Could you imagine that?
Have Tanahashi in the Rumble. I'd be surprised, but it'd be something else.
I wouldn't. You know what? At this point, I kind of look. It's a pretty simple thing. WWE probably could have just been like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to have Carl Anderson do anything with you guys. He's just going to vacate the title."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know contractually what Carl Anderson, if New Japan could have gone after him in some way. I don't know, but like, it would not shock me at all maybe it's going to be we'll give you Carl Anderson for the day and we get some footage or something like that. It could be that. But man, you want to surprise like the true wrestling nerds out there, Then in Triple H, he comes from a day they used to do that shit all the time. They'd bring people in from New Japan to be in the Rumble and shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
That could be wild, man. That could be
interesting. Tama Tonga's totally winning this. Next, we have Great Muta's last match in New Japan. He's teaming with Tanahashi and Shooter against LIJ. You got to think Muta's getting a win here in his last match in New Japan.
Okay, so hold on a second though. This is
Bushi's on Team LIJ. He's taking the pin.
All right, but hold on a second.
What?
Jushin Thunder Liger. Let's look at his last match. How did that go for him?
I don't remember. Was that just last year?
This is the worst segment we've ever done on this show, man.
No, we've probably done worse than this.
This is the worst segment we've ever done on this show. New Japan predictions. We're just a couple of idiots. What do we know? Hold on a second. Cage match. Jushin Thunder Liger. Hold on a second. Matches. All right. So his last match was in 2020, and he got beat by Takahashi and who's this? Dragon Lee, I think, in a tag match. And even in like his second to last match, he got beat. He did nothing but eat losses for his last 4 matches. Yeah, I think that that's sort of the thing over there, man. I think that where is he? Great Mood is going to lose this. I think his team loses. You go with the winners.
The pin.
Okay, I've won this predictions then. Good job, me.
I'm not putting a lot of confidence points on here. Let's see if this is entertainment purposes only.
Okay. All right.
Forever champion.
All right.
Then we got this match should be really, really good. Junior heavyweight.
How about this? Winner, loser pays for fast food this Friday when you come over here.
All right. Fine. We got Taiji Ishimori defending his junior heavyweight title against El Desperado, Takahashi, Master Wato.
Ishimori, El Desperado, Takahashi, Master Wato. I think this is going to stand pat. When did Ishimori win this shit?
It's been a little while.
Yeah. Has it been really?
Yeah, it's been a little while. He's had the belt for a little bit. Yeah, I feel because Desperado and Takahashi, they have their story that's been going on for a bit. I just don't anticipate Master Wato winning the junior heavyweight title anytime soon. So I'll say Ishimori retains.
When did he win this thing? Yeah, I'm gonna say that Ishimori retains, but then I've got no freaking.
A lot of confidence, Steve says. Next, Will Ospreay taking on Kenny Omega. This is for the U.S. heavyweight title. This match should be pretty spectacular. I would imagine that Ospreay's somehow going to get the win here, because I'd just be kind of surprised if Kenny had the U.S. title, but you never know.
Dude, the last time... No. This can't be right.
What?
June 6th. I'm sorry. June 21st, 2022. According to Cage Match, is the last time that he actually defended the title.
Wow.
He's had a bunch of other matches. Maybe it's just not listed on Cage Match. Like he fought Alan Angels 2 months later on Strong. Maybe that was for the junior title, and it's just not listed on Cage Match.
Yeah.
He does a lot of multi-man matches though.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways,
who do you got for Kenny versus Ospreay?
It's for the U.S. title, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be Ospreay.
You think so?
It's got to be Ospreay. United Empire's booked strong, man.
Yeah, but also in AEW talent, especially huge stars like Kenny Omega show up in other promotions, they don't lose.
Oh, yeah, dude, you're right. Ooh, but Kenny Omega's like an EVP. He's sort of an exception guy.
Maybe
Will Ospreay wins there. Kenny wins a return match in AEW?
Or Kenny wins here, and then the return match at like Forbidden Door 2, Will wins it back.
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, the AEW thing. You know what? Oh, man. I would say all signs might point to Kenny. Because, like, you're right. AEW doesn't lose wherever they go. And on top of that, they love featuring titles on their show.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a tough one.
I'd
say Ospreay wins.
All right, I'll go with Kenny then. Finally, the main event: Jay White defending the title against Okada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Okada wins this, dude.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, he wins.
I don't know.
Done. I've won. He's the Rainmaker. Come on.
I know, but if they want to really cement Jay White as the guy in New Japan, then this is the match he has to win.
Yeah,
Okada beat him in the last title, like in New York, beat Jay White for the title. I think the only other time they faced for the title since then was that 4-way match at Forbidden Door.
Let's see here. Jay White, April 2022. Jay White clarifies current contract status. Let's see what his contract status is like. Let's see here. Okay, no. Remember that time Jay White went to Impact to sell T-shirts?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, he clarified his New Japan contract status. Jay White spoke about his... I'm still with New Japan. Okay, that's not really clarification. He just clarified that he's with New Japan.
Robert Channels here in chat says they're literally building this match around who's going to be Antonio Inoki's successor.
That's clearly Okada. He wears a whole robe. That's like the history of New Japan.
It's got the entire history of New Japan on it.
Yeah, dude, it's Okada.
You'd think it probably is going to be Okada. Okay, fine. Okada.
It's totally Okada. All right, I win predictions. Good job, everybody.
No, I'm forever champion.
I'm new forever champion.
No, I'm forever champion.
No, I'm forever
champion. What do I care about predictions anymore? Spend $10 on some fast food, so what?
Are you rage quitting this? Are you rage quitting this awful segment of ours? What a waste of everybody's time. Let's talk about Rampage.
Entertainment factor. It accomplished its goal. We filled up about 10 minutes of time, Steve.
Nice. Well done.
Everybody we lost wins. In those 10 minutes, who knows?
Everybody wins. Let's talk about Rampage.
Yeah, let's talk about Rampage.
Oh my God, we gained like 150 people while talking about wrestling on YouTube.
Wow, we're up to over 500 people. Wow. Hey, it worked then.
Yeah, it worked. Good job, dude.
Filled up some time on the show and we got some viewers. That's great. So anyways, let's talk Rampage. Book ended by two pretty solid matches. I gotta. It was a little talky, especially towards the middle. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed the Kiera Hogan Jade Cargill match. I thought it was a really good showing for Kiera Hogan, who really hasn't had many opportunities to really showcase what she could do in the ring while in AEW. I mean, if you watch Impact when she was there, she's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, she is.
And granted, this match didn't get a ton of time, but the amount of time it got, she was really able to get the crowd behind her.
Yeah.
Even though, she wasn't going to beat Jade. But I just thought it was a really strong showing for her. She's really good, and hopefully, they'll come up with some stories for her to keep her, involved and on TV and putting on good bouts.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think we got a good story beat too with Red Velvet, preventing Jade from slapping the shit out of Kiera Hogan on the outside, making sure it all goes down on the inside. So now her, obviously they're setting up something with her and Jade probably for Revolution. They might slow burn it a little bit because Revolution's still about 2 months away.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like Rampage. Rampage had it had a bit of character to it. I like the opener with Orange Cassidy and Trent and their relationship stuff. I thought that was pretty good. And then, of course, Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian continuing to try to play their mind games with the best friends. Yeah. I thought this is like sort of the most interesting the best friends have been because their gimmick is like they're just the whatever guys, Yeah. So you add a little bit of interest to what's going on there. I really like the Darby Sting bit from Rampage as well.
Sting yelling at Darby was pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah, saying, it doesn't matter, stop the madness. You got to worry about yourself, buddy. Don't worry about those people out there. Showtime and all that stuff. And then Darby's totally going to get choked out by Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah, he's totally losing to Samoa Joe. Maybe we'll get our Sting Samoa Joe match then. Maybe Sting will get his TNT title opportunity a couple months too late for you to get it right for predictions.
Oh, boy, that would be your dads. They're just doing that to stick it to me. Too many CM Punk thumbnails. So they're like, yeah, we're going to make Sting TNT champion. Like in 2023. Yeah. I don't care. I'll still take a victory lap for that one. Let's talk about lowlights on Rampage and that Preston Vance interview.
Yeah, that wasn't like I thought the sit down with JR was all right. But I just didn't really feel like that interview added a whole lot.
No, sometimes I think, if you don't have, this cable stuff is good, I guess, for reps for some guys, being on Rampage in the middle of the night. They announced that, the next Battle of the Belts is going to be in the middle of the night again after Rampage.
But live at least.
Yeah, it's going to be live, so everybody's going to be like yawning in the crowd like, oh my God, it's so late. What is it? Where is Battle of the Belts in that Rampage coming from? Is it on the West Coast?
Portland.
Oh, okay.
Portland. I think it's Portland.
So it's okay. So that's only like at what 8?
Yeah, it'll be at like 8 in the evening.
Oh, that's not that bad. They should have.
When you said low lights, I thought you were going to talk about Wheeler Yuta in his pre-main event interview.
No, but what was great about that? Mock started it.
Yeah, I know. But you got Swerve, who's like effortlessly charismatic.
Oh, dude, this guy is everything.
He just oozes charisma.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And he doesn't even have to try. Yeah. And he's like saying, in 2023, Mogul affiliates could prove that we're the most violent. And Wheeler just goes, you want to talk about violence? I'm like, this isn't convincing, dude.
No, I know, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, I was like, oh man, here we go. It's a Wheeler Yuta interview. I'm sorry, Wheeler. You're a great interview. Do this a little bit. You need to get down into your gut to talk because this moguls. Oh no, we're violence. We're in Blackpool Combat Club. They had to have Mox kick that thing off for him. But yeah, getting back to Preston Vance, I think that he's like 5 years away from doing a good promo, but this is a good start for him. You got to start somewhere. You look at Chris Jericho's first promos, they're dog shit back from like 1989 or something,
Yeah.
So you got to start somewhere, but it's always fun to it's always fun to see that kind of shit.
You remember watching those this popped in my head. We're doing the thing for some pay-per-view for like a retro review. Maybe it was Survivor Series 2002 where they had the Randy Orton, Randy News Network and how awful that was.
Yeah, man, those were so bad.
So bad.
Yeah. Everybody starts somewhere.
Granted, it's 20 years later. Not that it took him 20 years to get good, but you fast forward to Orton now, and again, effortless because he's had so many reps. He's been basically every situation you're going to be from a promo standpoint that it's just all second nature to him. He's had to get those reps in.
Did you see me at Action Coast? I had to get my phone out to remember my notes.
Yeah.
And then instead it tried to connect me to the internet, so I was just standing around like an idiot, you know?
So I do that a few hundred more times, and it'll just be effortless, Steve.
I'll be able to get my phone out, whoop out like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let's dive in. Oh, another. I don't know if this is a low light or a highlight, and I have no idea if it happened to you. But during the middle of the Sanjay Dutt and crew response to the rap, Jeff Jarrett literally looked at the camera and said, "Max Caster, let me tell you something. I've taken more showers than you've had matches in this business." And emergency. It was an emergency signal.
Oh, no, I got that earlier.
For the flooding.
I got that earlier in the show.
Oh, really? We got it at different times? Interesting.
Yeah, it's just odd because we don't live far apart and we both have Xfinity.
Was it like live today interrupting the playback, or was it at the time?
That I don't know.
I think it was live. So I was probably watching that, and you were behind me or something.
Oh, that could be.
But we were watching it when we were both watching Rampage.
Yeah, I think it was during the opening bout, which was Orange Cassidy versus Trent. Yes, and they were really playing up. These guys are friends, but at the same time, there's competition here. They want to win.
They want to get that dub.
Yep. And so there was a degree of hesitancy from both of them to, like, the first time Orange was thinking about going for the Orange punch, he hesitated, and there's times where Trent could have done something, hesitated, but then they'd always kick up the violence to a certain degree. Whenever Trent does that bit where he kind of like Devil Inside, but he does it into a pile driver.
Yeah, it's really neat.
That's awesome. So he did that. He hits the pile driver, and Orange kicks out, and then Penelope Ford walks down to ringside and gets on the apron to distract Trent. And this allows Orange to hit a beach break. Trent kicks out of that, and then Orange hits an Orange punch for the win. The best part, this might have been the best thing Kip Sabian in my mind has ever done, is when he was walking down to the ring and did a little dance to Orange Cassidy's music.
I hated that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that actually shows some personality.
I didn't like that.
No, I like that.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't know what it is about that guy. I don't think I've ever really liked him, to be honest with you. But that's just me. I don't know. It's wrestling. You like some characters. I don't know. He could be the coolest guy in the world. I don't know. But like you just So I'm sort of already.
Some don't. Yeah.
I'm already conditioned to sort of not like anything that he does. But if he does something really cool,
his thing now is like super villain.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not really doing anything terribly dastardly, He needs
to lean into the dastardly.
He does.
Mwahaha.
Yeah, he needs to actually do something dastardly,
Yeah, they're like, Kip Sabian, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to accomplish? I'll tell you my plan, and you can't stop me.
Well, he should say world domination or something like that, Like everybody's here for titles, world titles. I want the world.
I want world, yeah. The world is my title, and I will dominate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, so after that, we had a Darby Sting interview where Shivani says, wait, would this already aired on? This didn't air on Dynamite.
No, it was from after Dynamite. They said it was from last week.
From after Dynamite. Okay.
This, like in kayfabe, this happened after the bit with Joe on Dynamite.
I got you. My bad. So Shivani tells Darby, hey, man, you get your TNT title shot against Samoa Joe. Darby says, I'm glad it's in Seattle. When I graduated high school 6 months ago, I was 115 pounds. I told everyone I wanted to become a pro wrestler, and they doubted me. My teachers, my friend, even my own dad. And I listened to them, and I was dying inside. But the moment I started listening to myself, I became alive. And look what happened. I became TNT champion. Then I lost it all. I don't know if my hometown or my dad still believes in me. And a matter of fact, I don't even know if you, Sting, you're like my dad. You don't believe in me either. Do you think I can win the TNT title? Sting says, it's showtime. What if I say no? Then I'll be the guy who doubted you like everybody else, right? But if I say yes, you'll lose the chip on your shoulder. I don't want you to lose that chip on your shoulder. Why? Because Joe is a killer. And because I know you're going to have to dig deep down inside the place you've never been before inside of yourself, Rock. You got to stop the madness, Rock. You got to stop worrying about what everybody thinks. It doesn't matter. It only matters what you think, Rock. Now go out there and get your title back. Shut your mouth and just do it. It's showtime.
I'm kind of surprised that Sting didn't slap him.
Yeah, it seemed like he was going to. Yeah, I mean, Sting sort of shoved him when he was like, hey, you don't believe in me, man. I love these two, by the way. I was thinking about this the other day, and that moment when Darby looks at Sting when he's about to lose the TNT title. That was like good. My fucking favorite moment ever in AEW.
That was really good.
This partnership has actually been really fucking cool, and I appreciate everything about it. I love these two together. I know I make fun of Darby because he does come off as an angsty teenager who just graduated high school 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love these guys. I think they're great, man.
They have. It's been a situation where Sting has actually really helped out Darby, enhanced his character. He's starting to take on certain attributes of Sting's in-ring work.
Yeah,
it's working really well for all involved, and
absolutely,
it's been a way to keep Sting relevant and vital. 35 years into his career?
Yeah, dude. No, absolutely.
He doesn't feel like a nostalgia act.
No, really. He doesn't. I mean, he adds no, dude. He totally adds to it. And then on top of that, whenever we get a Sting match, what does he do? Crazy shit.
Yeah.
So no, he absolutely does not feel like a nostalgia act.
Next up, we got Kip Sabian versus Atiba. Kip wins this pretty quickly. He actually has Penelope throw him Orange Cassidy's elbow pad, so he puts it on just to take it off, hits an orange punch to get the win. They're going through great lengths to develop this story between Kip and Orange, only for Orange to beat him.
Well, yeah, hopefully this is going to be the last thing before Miro comes in and just cleans the mat with Orange Cassidy. That'd be great.
That would be pretty neat.
After that, we had a Preston Vance interview. And he says, "Hey, Lexi, I'm going to ask the questions." He said, "Did you watch my interview with good old JR?" She's like, "Yeah, I watched that shit." And he says, "You know, it was the most talked about thing on Rampage." That is not true. I can't believe that was the most talked about thing about anything.
Well, maybe amongst himself and Roosh and Jose.
Jose has like some MS Paint drawing of like, "Oh, look at the ratings from your segment on Rampage. It's very much talked about." He says they're saying Preston Vance. He says, "What are they saying?" They're saying that Preston Vance is handsome and Preston Vance can talk. I know for a fact nobody's saying that. He said, "I've known my whole life. These are things I've known my whole life. But for the last 3 years, I was made to wear some stupid mask and do some stupid hand gesture." So question 2, he says, "You're the backstage interviewer. Who am I wrestling next week?" Like, she's like, "Fuck it, I don't care." And he's like, "No, I don't know either." He's like, "Is it a local talent? A Dark Order member? They're really all one and the same." So to get back to your original question, do I look like a man who has any remorse? I belittled a child on national TV, and that's all I had to do to get the spotlight. I'd have done that shit 3 years ago. He also gave himself a new name. It was Dog something. It was Perro something. I forget what it was.
Yeah,
but he, God bless his soul, he tried to roll his R's. He sounded like me trying to do it because it was not very impressive. Maybe they shouldn't have given the double R in his name because Perro, he can't do the R thing. And even I can barely do. I'm falling apart doing it, you know?
Yeah. Then we got more talking after that. John Moxley interview says, "It's been a hell of a few years, hasn't it, Tony Schiavone?" Because Tony Schiavone's there. He says, "From day one, AEW, in the first 3 years, 2 men stood above all the rest and beat everyone there was to beat except each other." Talking about himself and Hangman Page. So it was inevitable. There would be a showdown one day, and when it happened, not Larson, John Moxley, proved there was only one top guy. There was only one last man standing. It was going to be me. Again, not Larson, John Moxley. He continues. "I hit Hangman so hard I knocked him into another dimension. He woke up in the hospital that night, but I slept like a baby because the Blackpool Combat Club works harder than anybody else. We deliver harder than anybody else, so we deserve to sleep like babies because when we get into this ring, we don't care about the safety of the athletes. Page is hurt, can't get the doctors to clear him. Tony, I've been hurt for 10 years. Get over it. It's tough business. This is the major leagues." It says, "Hangman, January 11th. You want it at the Forum in LA? Well, see your doctors. See what we can do about all that. I'll be there waiting for you. People seem to forget that this is a tough business, and if you make it to LA, I'm going to remind everyone how tough this business can be. Hangman, keep your hands up. Biatch."
Biatch. Wow. Holy crap. Oh, here we go. DLW has it. Perro Peligroso. I imagine Preston in the mirror over and over ago, because it means ugly dog, saying Perro Peligroso. Perro Peligroso. Fuck no. Perro Peligroso. God, can't they give me something easier? You know, Gringo
dangerous.
Hombre.
The enforcer says it means dangerous.
Oh, it means dangerous. Okay. I don't know. You guys can sort that out amongst yourselves. You know, what about, I don't know, Gringo Hombre. White dude. They gave me a great new name. I mean, super awesome. The name is Gringo Hombre. And then you see Jose chuckling back there. Gringo Estupido. It means I'm so great. Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. Then we had another promo bit. Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett. So Sanjay says, he claimed, we're sick of you and tired of all your games. Jay says, I'm tired of waiting. I've been waiting a long time for gold, and right now the time for waiting is over. You sing your stupid songs. How dare you talk about me and Jeff like that? You pissed us off, and now we're fighting.
Now listen up, Max Caster. I've been in this business for 36 years. I've taken a lot of showers. There's been things I said and done that I've regretted. Ooh, there's a flood warning out there at Wilton right now. Cars are going underwater. It's awful. But getting back to wrestling, you're going to regret your rep because not only I'm going to end your reign as tag champ, I'm going to end your career slap nuts.
Yeah. Then we had Kiera Hogan taking on Jade Cargill. At one point, yes, here it is. Jade hits a pump kick, covers Kiera. She kicks out. She rolls out of the ring. So Layla goes and picks her up and holds her up so Jade can hit her. So as Jade is about to take a swing, Red Velvet grabs her arm. This allows Kiera to hit a couple kicks on Jade, puts her in the ring. As Kiera is getting back in, Jade hits her with a super kick. Kiera responds with a bulldog hip attack, hits a bunch of offense, culminates in a splash off the top. Jade kicks out of that. And then Kira's looking for a finish. Jade reverses that into Jaded for the win. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the bell rings at the end of the match, Red Velvet just walks up the ramp. Layla gets in the ring to celebrate with Jade.
Jade looks very confused, though. She's like, why did you just do that? Mm-hmm. I was about to belt somebody, and then you just, you didn't let me do that. So that should be good stuff. That'll be a good match.
Yeah, Red Velvet's a really good wrestler.
Oh, she's terrific. Another terrific wrestler, Jamie Hayter, had a promo. So last week on Dynamite, Sheeta and me beat the piss out of each other. So I'm setting the tone for every match going forward. I don't care who Saraya brings to the forum because me and Britt are going to show out like we always do. And then we had a varsity athletes interview. And I was like, for a second, I was like, where's Mark Henry? Why are we getting this interview for the main event? But it wasn't. It was just to hype up a match between Tony Nese and Bryan Danielson in Seattle and nearby Danielson's hometown.
Yeah, it'll be a quality match, an easy W for Bryan Danielson. It's all set up because Mark Sterling says, I've reached my limits. Danielson keeps meddling in the affairs of MJF. He's my best friend and my best client. So then he sets up the match with Nese and Danielson, and Nese says, I'm going to beat you in your hometown.
Yeah, okay. And then we had the main event interview with Wheeler Yuta and Swerve Strickland and his dudes with him. Mox speaks in place of Wheeler, says, Wheeler's going to have no fear, no pain in his head. Destroy is the only mindset he can have. Swerve, you're an incredible athlete. Killshot was my favorite wrestler for years. Of course, that was Swerve's name in Lucha Underground.
That's
and
true.
Then Swerve laughs that off. He says, I see you're missing members from your group, the Blackpool Combat Club. He says, the difference is yours was taken from you. I got rid of mine. He says, I want to get dirty, gritty, violent like all of you. In 2023, we're going to prove we're the most violent. And then Wheeler says, violence is my language. I'm going to do this myself. All my guys over here are going to stay in the back. Let's get violent. And then we had that match. It was a really good match because Wheeler Yuta is a really good wrestler.
And Swerve is a great wrestler.
Oh, he's terrific. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Swerve gets the win here. Takes a kick in the nuts. Right in the front area.
Boom.
But it allows him to hit a JML driver to get the win. Swerve is just destroying Wheeler's knee early on this bout, especially.
There was a really cool German suplex where Wheeler did it on one leg.
Yeah, the bridge with one foot, yeah.
And then the kip up on one leg was really cool, too.
Yeah, that was cool. There was a lot of good stuff in this, but Swerve escapes the seatbelt. Hits a house call. Wheeler kicks out. At first, he's looking for the JML driver, and Yuta elbows out. But when Swerve, eats the elbow, tumbles back right into the ref. And while the ref's selling that, kick right in the front area.
Ow, my dick.
JML driver to get the win.
That is correct. Let's go ahead and answer some questions, and then we're going to bring in Paul with the call. That's right. Triple H is back today at the end of our episode to preview tonight's. What the heck? I'm trying to get to the damn question.
WWE Raw. While you get that, we got Fazzy renewing the membership here on YouTube. Thank you so much. 35 months. That's so cool. Thank you.
Also, the Wade concept with the super chat says, "Hey, Friendo's been a fan of your content for years now. Found you all in 2017. Wanted to say it's awesome to see you guys still killing it in 2023. Thank you very much. Appreciate that."
We got a super chat here from Max Monroe as well. Says, "Finally catching the show live. Love from your friendo from Palmdale."
Hey, Palmdale, go have a beer at Maxton's for me. That's in Lancaster, but it's close enough. All right, let's see if I can load up these questions. We probably have a bunch of them because I put it up a couple hours ago. Indeed, we got 22 of them. Let's go ahead and get started here. This is a great question. Isaiah asks, what would a healthy working relationship between WWE and New Japan look like? He says, me not being up to date with New Japan, I'd love for WWE to bring back something similar to the Cruiserweight Classic to highlight Japan and give us some dream matches. Could be a really fun summer tournament. That could be neat.
Oh, I'd be all about that. I loved Cruiserweight Classic. That tournament was so good.
I mean, obviously, like, a super show would be really neat. But I don't know. A place for New Japan to send some young lions on excursion from time to time would be cool. And vice versa. Maybe some NXT people. Like they sort of did in-house with NXT UK. Could be awesome, to be honest with you. And then, a tournament or two or the Royal Rumble. Like anytime it would make sense for them to sort of, bring in somebody from New Japan and spotlight them. Have a WWE
the Rumble
guy
will make
go
a lot
to
of
G1.
The Rumble will make a lot of sense for the situation where someone, say Naito, could come to the Rumble, eliminate a few people, get eliminated. He's not getting pinned. He's not be made to tap out. It's there for the appearance, and even if he doesn't win the Rumble, it's not like he looks bad losing,
Yeah, right.
And then, of course, WWE could send some people in for the New Japan Rambo as well.
I just want to point this out. Drayville here in chat says, Steve, if you're a AAA wrestler, your name was Gringo Chico. I don't know what this means. I was thinking it'd be Cena Hamburguesa. Like, Hamburger Cena.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I make myself laugh. Moving on, DJ Luke says, Happy New Year's from Belgium. Since it's January, who's your pick for the Rumble matches? He thinks Rhea and Cody. Guess what I think? I think it's going to be Rhea and Cody.
Rhea and Cody.
Yeah.
So I get we're not doing predictions this year because I feel like, especially for the Rumble, we probably predict all the same matches.
Probably. White Brownie says, with Fight Forever releasing... When is the Impact pay-per-view this year?
13th.
Oh, okay, cool. You're going to be gone that week.
That's the weekend I'm going to be out of town, yeah.
I'll do that over at MF Steve here then, I guess.
Should be a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. White Brownie says, with Fight Forever releasing this year, what are the chances we'll see a WeBook Dynamite series like your WeBook Raw?
Something to talk about, maybe.
I think what I'd probably prefer to do is just you come over on like launch day and we'll just play it a bunch on stream. And we'll upload that and call it a day. There's not enough time in the day for something that just typically is probably not going to perform very well. If we did it as a special streaming event, maybe on a couple weekends and on launch day, I think that would probably be a bit better. If we can, even if we were to sit down and have some fun with whatever the custom features are, then and have some funny matches. If it's good content and then and it performs well, then I would be down to do more. Yeah. But like the serialized version of that, it just doesn't work. Like it just doesn't, as fun as it can be, it's not worth the time and effort.
No, it's not. It's not the results we get isn't commiserate. I'm talking financially, Yeah. It just isn't commiserate with the amount of work that went into it. So while it was fun to do from a creative standpoint, at the end of the day, every minute and hour we spend on work, we need to really dedicate to stuff that's going to be the most beneficial for us.
And honestly, like when we say that, we also mean, we got stream issues now or Zoom issues. To sort of hop on that, when we say for us, we also kind of mean for the community, because if we could do, for example, a retro review or a count out in the place of doing like a WeBook AEW, that's going to satisfy a lot more people than like 2,000 that are going to be into us doing the video game stuff. That's sort of a lesson we've learned. Michael Will says Haas wrestling, 90s, late 2000s attitude era style.
I feel,
Man, we're got. Oh man, yeah, we're starting to have Zoom issues. Larson, I think we should wrap this. We're starting to have issues, stream issues, internet issues.
All right.
So we'll try one more question. But fucking A. This is how this podcast is definitely exactly how it should be petering out here. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to call this a day, everybody. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
All right. Sorry.
Till next time. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.